Good morning, team. Good morning, Hive. So I'm just waiting for some confirmation, okay? I'm not entering some buys yet, even though this looks like a good buy, because this candle right now does not have a wick down. Means sellers are just waiting to enter the market again. This second candle does not have a wick down, so sellers are just waiting to enter the market first. Means market can recover this move instantly, so I don't want to risk our entries here. I'm waiting for some pullbacks. I need to see some good momentum. Okay, good momentum before a good continuation. So let's see. Alright. So I put on some entries already. So in this level, get ready, guys. Already sent some entries on this level. So this is gonna be a tight stop loss. Just this level here. It's gonna be our entry. SL would be just below this candles. Just below this candles wick. Alright. Just below the previous candle. Just below this previous candle. Again, we're still lacking some confirmation, so I want to see some pullbacks first. We're still lacking some confirmations. Not all confirmations are here, so we're still lacking some confirmations. Guys, close trade for now. Closing trade. I'm closing trade near entry level. Okay, I will look for recovery for this one. Negative 10 pips. I'm closing at 10 pips, guys. Negative 10 pips right now. This move is gonna be recovered. Again, this move is gonna be recovered. Market will retrace here. Might retrace more. Looking at the charts, here it was a false, it might be a false breakout. Market can just break this level. Market can just break this level here and potentially retest this level. Alright, I don't wanna risk that. I'll wait for this candle to close, then I'll probably go for some potential reversal on the sells here just to catch that drop, but we'll see. Already closed my previous entry. I can recover that previous entry. Just make sure to use the same lot size, because we're gonna catch the reversal now. I want to catch the reversal. Let's see if market continues, because I will go for that sell. make sure to close the, again, already closed the previous trade. We're gonna catch the reversal, guys. Let's catch the reversal. We're just waiting for this candle to close so you can catch a big one. Again, sellers were just waiting for that entry move. Alright, sellers were just waiting. It's not so strong bearish candle right here, so it's not a good continuation. Market will consolidate on this level here. Alright, potentially if pushing down would be very low. So I'm still waiting for some confirmation. I want our first trade to be a long trade. All right, we always close near entry. Again, we always close near entry levels. It's easier to close near entry because it's easier to recover than to close far from our initial entry. Let's see where the market goes. So that's that. Bit more confirmation because I want to have a long trade. Gold looking a good bump here. If this continues, we're looking for another all-time high break, presumably this morning or maybe later on, but I'm looking for good buys here, or once we reach all-time high we can see some good sells if market rejects those levels. So I'm just waiting for some volume first so we can get our trade back. So market is trying to recover the candle with the no wick. So this green candle, if this previous green candle has a wick down, we can potentially see a push up, but since this candle does not have a wick down, the previous green candle, it has no momentum to push up, so that's why we close at entry level. It was a false pump. So now market is trying to recover that no wick down. Market is trying to recover that no wick down. Alright, just to compensate for the buyers. So market tried to recover that no wick down, compensate for the buyers. So we need to see momentum. So that wick down, this type of move shows a good momentum. Alright, so now we want to see after this bit of consolidation, because we see the break of high. Alright, we've broken the high on this level here, So we need to see break of this high now. Best confirmation, once this breaks the third high here, the recent high, once we see a good pullback, bounce, breaks this high, would be another confirmation so we can reach this all-time high here. So let's just be patient with the market, because I'm really expecting some long trades, good trades this morning. It's gonna be a while once we see some good confirmation. So let's see how's volume this Monday morning. Because I want to see some good move on gold. Alright, let's see some good move on gold. So let's be patient with the market and let's see some opportunities. Oh, market's a bit too fast now. I want to look for some sell scalps here. I wanted to look for some sell scalp here. So maybe we can see some market go up a bit, retrace, clean this area here, or at least retest this area before we can see some scalps. Maybe we can target some levels for the retracement before a good buys on some gold. So just waiting for some confirmation because gold has no direction so far on this level. You can see a major consolidation here. So let's just be patient with the market and see what it gives us once we have some clean confirmation so we can catch some clean moves. So market still slow, guys. Still slow on the movement. I'm just waiting for a good clean setup right now. So I'm waiting for some good confirmation so we can catch some of those movement. It's either we're gonna find a retest here on this level, but I need to see a good clean momentum that it's gonna show some bearish move. So right now we're showing some slow movement on this level here. Alright, so we can see good first bearish candle, so I need this at least to close as a good bearish candle. Good wick up and closes like this type of formation without a wick down at least. So I need to find those candle with confirmation before we enter any more trades. So market is still waiting for some volume on this level. Again, this is a consolidating zone. Alright, so market is just bouncing between these levels here. So we are now inside this zone. So we don't want to get stuck on this level here. So I'm just waiting for some clean setups so we can look for those entries. So let's see how this candle closes. We have around 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So let's see on the candle move. see if market can continue, so we can look for some potential scalps, guys. Potential scalps at around 88. Let's see. Waiting for a bit more move. Waiting for a bit more move. I want to start selling on this level at 3688 and 3689 would be our selling range. 3688, 3688 and 3689. Alright, so it's alright. I think we can look for some sell scalps already. I'll just wait for a bit more retracement. I need to see more confirmation first. Wait for our signal on our group, because I need to see good confirmation first before we enter some setups. Even if market move, still waiting. Always wait for the candle to close so we can see which direction the next candle can potentially show itself. Waiting for candle to close. We got 10 seconds, but this candle seems to be very weak, so let's see. We really need to see some clean confirmation first before we can look for some entries. Again, you can see market just goes up on this level, it traces back up here, then just closes below, but with a wick down. Since this candle has a wick down, it still has weak sellers to continue the market push. And our market is trying to recover some of those drops here by almost retesting this level before trying to retest this high on this level here. So you can see market is just consolidating on inside this level, so it's riskier to find some entries on this level here because market is slow on this volumes here. In the 15 minutes time frame, you can see that the market is still inside this zone, waiting for a direction still, so we'll just have to wait for that. Very slow market on this level, hoping to see some massive move once we see a break on this level here, break the highs, and at least see market retest this bullish for value gap and this demand zone. But again, the momentum here is not showing any good sign. Such a slow market here again. We have no confirmation here. Market is just consolidating on this level. Inside this box, we can see that market is just consolidating inside this box. Still seeing some slow pace move on the market, very low volume, waiting for that clean volume so we can find our entries there. Look at that, market is indecisive on this zone. Again, market is so indecisive in this zone. We are consolidating this much here. Market is very slow this morning. Again, it's risky to find some entries between this zone because we can either break up or down since it's in between. So we do not want to be stuck on trades for a very long time. So we wait for a good direction move. Alright, we have to be patient with the market because not every move is an opportunity. You'll always have to wait for that opportunity. Let the market come to you. So we're waiting for some setups above this level or below, on this demand zone here once market retest, but we need to see some good volume first. And without volume, market will just be stagnant on this level here. Because if there's not gonna be volume this Asia session, there might be volume around London session later on, just to find a good direction. But I'm hoping to see a good all-time high break before lunchtime. So I'm just hoping to see good retracements here, to see some gold potential move. But again, we can't see any confirmation yet until we break this zone here, since market is still stuck on the zone of consolidation. So for now, while we wait, I'll show you what we are waiting for and how we base our strategy on. Alright, so we are always looking for some consecutive candles here. For example, 3 consecutive bullish candle coming from a bullish fair value gap or our demand zone. This types of entries is what we're looking for from time to time. This indicates a good bullish move, so we can see that market has been pumping from there. And I'm talking about in the 5 minutes time frame. You can actually use this strategy on a different time frame, but I like to find it on sniper entries. So this type of move needs a good wick down. So example, this candles right here. Alright, we are looking for good rejections on the wick down. A wick down is very important. It tells you a story that the market is pushing on the opposite direction. Alright, it means it left the opposite direction looking for good momentum to pump the market back up. So let's look for our previous entries so far right here. This here was a sniper entry. We did buy on this level. I was holding this entry from last week and we made around 300 pips. So what we found was first candle was a good bullish hammer. Alright, we found a good candle here. Now what we saw in this candle was a good wick down. Next candle was a good momentum, also created a wick down. So this volume here from the buyers shows a lot of buying pressure. Next confirmation we have, you will have to see a good bullish fair value gap here. So market formed a bullish fair value gap here. That's your entry. Your SL should be at least below that level, so anything here. And once you see a good break of the previous high, this high would be the previous high on the wick, upper wick on this level here. So that's a BOS, break of structure. That's a break of structure. So you can see that the volume has been going straight up after that. Alright, the market volume. And overall you can see a 3 consecutive candle move. Even if your entry was late here, even if you bought here, market still continued. Alright, same with our some sells here. So for our sell here, how we discovered our sell or how we discovered our entry on this level. First, we see a move on this market here. So people are asking, how did you find a sell here when the market is bullish? Okay, we were selling with the strong candles here. This candle does not have a good momentum. Okay, first of all, it did not come from any demand zone. Okay, there's a bullish fair value gap here, but again, the volume is too strong. It's like when you're walking upstairs. Okay, you do not want the stairs to have big gaps. Okay, so it's not a straight step. A normal stairs will have normal gaps, right? So this stairs has a big gap right now. So it's not normal move like we can see this market move smoothly here like that. So especially this type of candles, strong move up, 2 strong move candles up or down, that's an impulse move. An impulse move means sudden buyers or sellers entering the market without confirmation. Impulse move, sudden buyers or sellers in the market within that candle entered the market. Big volume. For example, here, this is an impulse move, but we caught that based on our entry. So that we analyze from the beginning. So this you cannot analyze because it's just 1 5-minute candle or even 1 minute candle that pushed the market back down. There's nothing to analyze there if it's just a 1 minute candle instantly moving this big. Alright, so candle has reached, there's a bearish fair value gap here, and this is the resistance zone. So the resistance zones, I just waited for a good wick up. A good wick up, it means I want to liquidate the buyers, right? then candle close as a bearish candle. All right, so this goes to show that it's respecting this resistance level here. So I just waited for a few more candles to find our entry. One more wick up at the top. Just imagine that this area is now the selling zone. All right, this is also a bearish value gap, and this line here is the resistance zone. All right, so now it's trying to grab some sells here. So because sellers are waiting here, because again, so you see the wick here, it creates more selling pressure there. So it taps that level. I want to see a good rejection back down. We look for some sells, and market went down again. If you see this big move right now here, this is an impulse move. Again, same as this impulse move from the market was just recovered. So what's gonna happen again? This impulse sell move is gonna get recovered by the buyers after all this impulse move here. Look at that. After that, market just keeps going up. So from here to here, that's a big gap right there. From here to there, that's a straight market pump, right? So you can see any impulse move from the market, sudden big candles, especially if they're not coming from any demand zone or supply zone. If they're not coming from any demand zone or supply zone, they can be easily be recovered by the market. Big impulse move here from the buyers, recovered by the sellers. Big impulse move by the sellers here, recovered by the buyers. All right, so we want to see a good, clean, easy step, right? You can't use stairs if there's big gaps. You can't use the stairs correctly if there's big gaps. So we want to see a good, clean momentum, all right, to find those entries. So let's look for some other previous entries. Here, this one, we got 3 back-to-back trades here. So let's look for some buys here. So how did we find our entries first? So again, we were looking for some good momentum. First, we look for some consecutive candles. So there's been a shift of candles here. So market has been going down and it started showing some rejection. Final candle was a good hammer. All right, good hammer. Good showing, good rejection wick here. So this candle turns out into a hammer, right? It's a shape of a hammer, one wick down. This is the handle and this is the head. Now market has been going up on this level with a consecutive bullish candle, but you can see that the volume is still low. So I was waiting for a good volume to come back up here. All right, so now we have a good volume, but then again, this is one impulse move, right? So we do not want to enter all of a sudden. So we just waited for some wick down here because this candle here created a bearish bullish fair value gap, and this is now the fair value gap. What is a fair value gap? It's the price gap between the first candle and the third candle if you have 3 consecutive candles, especially if the second one is a strong move. So from the top of this candle to the bottom of this candle. So this candle was here and it goes to retest the bullish fair value gap. So now this bullish fair value gap is your buy zone, right? This is your buy range. So you got momentum candles here, you got impulse move here. Now market was playing in this level, so we waited for a retracement down. We looked for some entries, but still market took some time to continue. Why? Again, this is big move here that needs to be recovered first. So market has been playing on this level, but we have a buy zone and our SL. So that's why it's very important to look for entry and SL, guys. Just entry and SL. TP is open. Entry and SL is important, okay? Because your SL would be a breathing room for the entry. Your SL is a breathing room for your entry. Your SL is not just stop loss because I want to risk only this much. No, stop loss are measured, all right? So if you have a measured stop loss, you can risk higher because you know that your stop loss is a breathing room. So you can see that the market just retests inside the fair value gap here, bullish fair value gap here, and after that we can see a good momentum. But check this out. Before market continued, you can see this candle is the same as this, right? So both hammers. What happens if you see some hammers? You see market goes up. What happens if you see some hammers? You see market goes up. Now this hammer has a reason. So this reason here is from this bullish fair value gap here. So this zone, buyers are waiting to enter the market. So from this hammer you can see market goes up here, even if you entered on this candle here, because you waited for the candle. And also this candle is also showing morning star. Alright, you can see the candle patterns here. This is a morning star. So we have good candle patterns there. This shows a bullish reversal. Alright, we have a morning star there. We have a good wick here, same as this candle here, formation here, but our entry was already here. So even if you were late, you can still find the entries here, but we found it on the same level. Even if you entered here, once the market closed bullish, because you see a good momentum, you can still see market goes up. So from there, market has been continuing to reach our final TP. So it's the same thing as sell. I do the opposite as sell and buys. You know, guys, we're just doing the same thing over and over again every day. Same entries, same analysis, right? Same entries, same analysis, repeating every day. So we can look for before I explain this, we can look for some sells here. So this was just one trade. So what happened here? All right, how did we find some sells? This was actually the sniper entry also as well. So I found the sell here. All right, this was the candle. I just moved it here so you can see. This was our entry here when candle was going back down. All right, so how did we look for this sell? So market opened here. All right, you can see the previous candle does not have a wick down. Again, no wick down or no wick up, depending on the market direction. It's like you lose some buyers or sellers. We want the buyers and sellers to be in one candle, right? But if there's only buyers on this candle, you're gonna ask yourself, where's the sellers? Sellers are waiting. So again, if this also was the opposite direction, if it's red and it does not have a wick up, right? If it's red, sorry, this is green, right? So where's the sellers? Since it does not have a wick down, where's the sellers? Only buyers are here. Now market keeps going up on this level. So it was just a green bullish candle here. Green bullish candle, guys, no wick down. So now, where are the sellers? So when market retraces back at entry and leave this big wick here, all the buyers has been liquidated. Because as you can see, if there's a wick on this top, it means someone bought here. It means someone actually bought on this level here, right? As you can see, market is on this price range. Market is on this price, and this is one of the peak here, right? Market is currently in 3689, 3690, and this was where the sellers started selling. So this level here is one of the key levels also. So market went down on the closing of this candle. So once I see that move, I know that the sellers are gonna be strong because they left all the buyers on this level here. We want to see a wick. So now all the buyers came and sellers tried to liquidate this level here. So now we look for some sells on this level. Stop loss was just above this bullish candle's wick. Just you can see that I just added some small gaps there. See, this is our stop loss, just using the previous high, because if I use this as high, it would be just